Hey everybody, I don't have an intro yet. I'm going to have to think of one. But today in this video, we're going to learn how to use your memory. Woo! Yeah, super exciting. So, how you use your memory is you use what's called, how you use your memory effectively. It's called the method of loci. That's storing information at locations, similar to how computers actually store information. Computers search for where it's stored rather than what. Most people try to figure out what they're thinking of. You know, if you've ever, yeah, everyone does that. What was I thinking? I was just thinking it. Nah, that's why it's so difficult to remember. Is it's difficult to remember what, very, very easy to remember where. Socrates actually, a few thousand years ago, when books were coming around, Socrates spoke against books. He didn't like the fact of, or the idea of using writing to translate information. He thought it was ineffective, slow, and bad for our brains because if we could write things, we'd stop remembering things, which is funny to think about because now we have cell phones and the boomers and the older generation make fun of millennials when in actuality the boomers and older generations are just as stupid because we've been dumbed down as technology has increased. Makes it easier for us, makes us lazy. But we can have an incredible memory. And the reason you should care about that is because with a really good memory, you know, knowledge, if you had a 2-second memory, you wouldn't know anything. You wouldn't be a Democrat or Republican. You are your thoughts, you are your memory. And the more you can remember, the more better off you are. So my favorite way to train the memory is using a deck of cards I have here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to train your memory using cards. There's many different memory techniques, many different memory competitions you can do, names and faces, numbers, abstract images, and there's tricks for all of them, but they all revolve around a centralized idea of using the method of loci, which is translating difficult information, intangible things like numbers, into codable information and storing that at a location. So, the method of loci, it can be anything. It's any location. They call it a memory palace. I think that's a funny word, but what I like to do is I like to, for beginners, use your childhood home. Most people had one. It's easy to remember. Humans are very good at remembering locations and things, as you'll see. So if you picture your childhood home, you can do just a quick journey. But it can be anything. It can be a virtual tour of a national park. We have the coronavirus going on right now, so it can be anything, any location in the world. A street, your front yard, a house, a hotel you used to go to, somewhere you went on vacation, anything. So you choose one, and then you need a certain amount. There's a few different systems. There's systems called person action object, or person action, or person object, object object. There's many different ways to do this. So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about when you're going for a deck of cards, you have the king of spades, you have the six of spades, you have the five of clubs, and what you need to do is you need to put images to all of those. I use the person action object. Some people use just person action. So for instance, when I see this card, I picture my niece, Addie, painting with a paintbrush. This is my dad teeing a pin or golf ball. This is my sister planting a plant. Right? This is Bill Gates jumping a chair. This is my friend Adam lassoing a rock. This is Michael Jordan squeezing the trophy, if you ever remember that image of Bulls. My brother Harry eating popcorn. Arnold Schwarzenegger curling weights. This is Obi-Wan swinging a lightsaber. So, how you combine the two. First, you need to come up with images. If you want to do person action object, you need to come up with images of a person doing something with something. After you memorize that to each card, what you want to do is you just want to store those at locations. So let's say my childhood home, for instance. My childhood home, I would start my journey in my bed. That's where I wake up. I had a bunk bed. So the more you can visualize, the easier it will be. So let's just do this real quick. I would think of my brother Harry curling lightsabers. That's how you store 3 cards at one image. So my brother curling lightsabers. You want to make sure you have that. Maybe I'm waking up and I'm wondering what he's doing in my bed. I'm staring at him. Next is my dog. My dog's kennel bear. Had when I was younger. This is let's see, there's more color. Bill Gates is lassoing a trophy. All right. So picture that, and then we'd go with maybe my niece Addie is teen plant at the television. That are the three. Those are the three locations in my room, and then I go to my bathroom, my shower, my sister's room. Go to my mom's room. I had a turtle cage in the hallway. I had another sister, her room, stairs. So depending on if you do person action, there's 52 cards in a deck, you need 26 locations. If you do person action object, you need 17 locations, and then I usually just have the one extra card. All right, so how do you recall it? Well, then you take your second deck. Your second deck is always put in order like this. And in order to recall it, you simply just go back to the location. So what did I have? My brother was curling lightsabers. Let's see, we had Bill Gates was lassoing a trophy. We had my niece Addie was teen a plant. Alright, so quick and easy. I don't want to go through a whole deck because it would take time. It only takes about, after you practice 1 to 2 months, it'll only take you 2 minutes or less to memorize a deck of cards. I think my best speed is somewhere around 45 seconds now, but not to brag. But you get better a lot faster. The first time I did it, I think it was 15 minutes, then it dropped down immediately, did to 10. Flirted with 4 or 5, but you get better really quick. So, and then after you put them in order, this is how you discover if you were right. You had the deck in order, the deck I memorized. Let's see. It's that easy. And so, the reason this is important, you might be asking, why the hell would I do this? Or, heck, kids show. It's because if you learn how to use your memory, you're going to find you really get a creative boost. You have more information. You have to think creatively sometimes, depending on what cards you get. And also, you can. I'll make some other videos. You can do this with numbers. You can do this with anything you could think of. If you store it at a location, it's much easier to recall, and you'll be a lot better off. So, let me know if I can help with anything else. A little tired. It's pretty early. Couldn't sleep last night. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you at least learned how to memorize a deck of cards, or at least start. I'll put my person action object list in the notes. It's my old one. I use a different one, so there might be, don't judge me, there might be some little immature things, but the more wild, the more abstract you make your images, the easier it is to remember. So best of luck. Let me know if you need any help.